on the Oregon coast, about to shoot my first Pilates video. Please enjoy the view and this class. We're going to begin seated, staring at the vista or staring out and letting your eyes soften, reaching the arms forward and rolling the pelvis back and then rolling back up forward. You'll feel those little sit bones underneath your pelvis rolling on the floor and on the surface that you're sitting on. And you want to roll back off of those bones into the bowl of your pelvis, making a nice scoop through the body and another little bit of scoop through the upper abdominals. So you really feel the work in your center. You're going to roll that back up. Your feet are grounded. Maybe even energetically pulling back towards your pelvis as you do so. Once you get that movement down, take it a little bit further and see if you can roll your spine deeper back into the surface that you're laying on. For me, it's the inconsistent sand that I'll carve my way into. I'm going to go for my low ribs and then come right back up. So from head to tail, I've got a nice C-shaped spine. And we're just rocking from the pelvis, from the hip joint, and articulating through the spine. I'm going to go down a little bit further, coming back up, finding a little bit of work on the way home, going more towards your shoulder blades, deeply breathing to help you come back up, stretching the spine forward, sit tall. Roll all the way down now, curling through the spine, laying the vertebrae of your spine down until your head is resting. I'm going to nestle in a little bit here. From here, feel your arms heavy by your side. Let your shoulders relax back. From your head to your tail, stretch apart. Go for length, go for width. Organize your feet so they're beneath your knees. Your heels should be just under the knees if you can. From here, we're going to bridge the hips up, extending through the hips. So once you find the connection to the back line of your arms, the length through your spine, organizing the feet as best you can so they're even, planted into the floor, go to that same motion we just did to come down to the floor, but now to extend the hips. So you're going to scoop the pelvis, curling the tail underneath you, roll the low back up off of surface that you are laying on. Through then the ribs and the chest comes up as well. You're stretching through the front of your hips. See if you can let your glutes become heavy as if they're filled with bags of sand. And then begin to make your way down through articulation of the spine. You're going to let your chest sink back down, then your ribs, finally your low back, all the way through to your tail. You'll unwind through the pelvis, relaxing through the front of the hips, not tucking, not arcing too much, and not clenching through your glutes. And then again, we go for that abdominal scoop. Low belly scoops in to roll the back of the spine up off of the sand. You come all the way up through the hips, through the ribs, through the chest, letting your throat be soft, relaxing, that your chin is not dropping onto your chest. Take a nice deep inhale here. See if you can float your hips up a little higher. Widening through the collarbone. Exhale, rolling down chest, then ribs, then tail. Unwind. Power through and up on the breath in. Exhale as you continue. Hold at the top. Take a breath in. Stretch the hips. Exhale, roll down chest, ribs, low back, imprinting the low back, and then unwinding the pelvis and letting your low back return to its natural curve. Breathing in to begin your pelvic scoop, exhaling to feel the hips lift off of the mat, and you rise up and up and up. Stay at the top here. Reach your arms overhead, stretch them back. Think about someone gently grabbing your wrists, drawing them out, and someone else as well, grabbing your knees and your thighs and pulling them in the opposite direction. And then you begin to hang the body down to the mat, through the chest, through the ribs, through the low back and tailbone. You have a nice stretch through the front line of the body. I really feel this in my armpits right now. I'm going to bring my arms back forward to help me lift the hips up again, curling through the tail, curling, lifting all the way up into a bridge. Chest is pressing through the arms, standing strong into my heels. The arms go back. A nice breath in. You're being tugged apart. Exhale, you're rolling down. Feeling that exhale breath help you sink your lungs into the mat, eventually the lumbar spine and the pelvis. We're going to do one more. Go for that third one. Pelvis, ribs, chest is lifting up in our bridge. Weights still across the shoulder blades, the arms extend back. Feeling the weight a little bit in the shoulders, rolling down, and also your feet, of course. Rolling, sinking, rolling, sinking, voila. Take those arms up to the ceiling. Open them out to the side. Palms could face down or up, whatever feels good. I'm going palms up right now. I need that stretch. You might have palms down to feel more grounding and assistance. Here, as we go onto a windshield wiper, I want you to bring your knees together, your feet together. Sway your knees off to one direction. See if you can bring the outside foot and just lift it up off the floor as your weight goes into the opposite edge of the other foot. Your knees are trying to stay together and be organized. They're in line. So the legs stay in line as you roll to one side. And while you come back to center, keep those knees glued to center. Roll your weight across the back of your hips. Let your knees drop to the other side. The outside foot comes up and stacks onto the bottom foot. You can breathe in all the way into your low ribs and through your waist. Take one more breath here. Filling up the trunk. Exhale as you return to center, rolling across the back of your hips, bringing your weight into the opposite glute now. The outside foot comes up, stacks onto the bottom. Knees are together. We're twisted through the hips, through the waist. While the eyes can then turn into the opposite direction to continue that twist, that wringing out sensation, feeling through the spine. Shoulders are broad, and you're just taking a breath and observing the feeling of that twist. And we'll take that to the other side. As those hips come back through center, let your eyes and your head roll to the other side. Stay for a breath or two. And just notice how that breath feels in your body. And then make your way back. Starting out with a nice gentle warm up, getting the body to go in its many directions that it can. We're going to heat up now a little bit more. You're going to interlace your hands behind your head, making a nice basket for your head to be cradled in. From here, I want you to articulate the head, neck, and shoulders up. Exhale at the top of your curve. Microphone check. Then roll back down through the back of the shoulder blades, neck, and head. We're articulating still again, but now from the top of the spine to about mid-back. See if you can just creep those low shoulder blades up off of the surface that you're laying on or your mat. Get a little shake in the upper abdominals. Hold for a moment, smiles on, and then you roll it back down, sinking back. Seeing if you can find a little bit extra length through the back of the shoulder blades and neck and head. So we're doing an upper abdominal curl and a little shake at the top, and then we're rolling it back down. We're just connecting to those crunch muscles, those laughing muscles up at the top of your abdominals. And when you come up, I want you to let all the air out. Take a moment to fill up again, holding that curl, and then let it out. And roll it back down. So try this. Inhale, head comes up, neck curls, and ribs bend. We exhale, hold for an inhale. You might even float up a little bit in your curl, and then let that out. And here's how that'll look without talking. About 3 more. I lost count. Your inhale propels you up. Exhale, you deepen your curl. Scoop through that belly, a little shake. Inhale, fill up, and even maybe feel a bit of a lift through your mouth as if you're smiling. Exhale, you roll it back down. Last one, inhale. And exhale. Inhale, feel the corners of your mouth lift as you smile and hold. Exhale as you roll down. Very nice. And then you bring those arms back down by your side. Low abdominals. Lift one leg up into a tabletop. Bring it back down. I want you to imagine that you have balloons here lifting your thigh bone up towards the ceiling or the sky. And then I want you to imagine that you have heavy weights on your heel as you bring that leg down to the mat, to the surface that you are lying on. Maybe you are out on the beach like myself, or in the nature somewhere else. You've got a little sense of lift as the leg comes up, and then you have a sense of anchoring as the leg travels down, a pressing through the back line of your leg. I want you to connect to the top of your thigh bone and just notice how it's moving in your hip socket. I want you to deepen that range now. It wheels its way in. The hip wheels in towards the spine, and then it wheels away from the spine. The pelvis has this alternating wheel-like effect, as if you had 2 gears next to each other, switching in opposite direction to create a nice glide through the hip joint and through the pelvic calves. Good. And switch. Lift and switch. Just warming up through the lap and through the glutes. Now we're going to bring both legs up, one, then the other. From here we switch at the top. Switch at the top. Thinking about that gear-like movement that your pelvis has in order to support this movement. And you switch, and you switch, and you switch. And then you say, Ange, this is too easy. Where is the challenge? Okay, for those who want that little extra, your hands go back behind your head, and you curl, and you hold that chest curl, and you pull the reaching leg into you. The leg that's coming into you, you pull it into you. The other leg, you feel that lever away from you, and you feel that challenge. Your low abdominals. 3, 3, 2, 2, 1, 1, and rest. Grab onto the low parts of your shin bones, or maybe up by the knees, somewhere on the leg, or maybe it's behind the thighs because your knees don't like that. Let your head rest back and roll out for a moment. See, not so bad. Let's add a twist. We'll build it up. Bring those legs back down. Hands go behind the head, everyone. Could leave it out if you need to, and just do the leg part again. From here, lift one leg up into a tabletop. Perhaps even go beyond tabletop and really pull that leg in. Then I want you to lift head, neck, and shoulders up through center. And now we feel a deep rotation through the rib cage to bring your opposite shoulder to opposite hip. Then you'll come back through center, plant that foot down. You could roll the head down, why not? We'll build it up that way, and then the other leg comes up. You lift back up again. Rotate. I'm going to breathe in. My exhale pulls me back to center. And I'm bringing that foot down. I'm putting the head down. Head and leg come up. We're alternating sides. We're going to twist and twist and twist a little more through the ribs. And we're going to come back to center. Let that breath out. And return. Alternate sides. Head comes up, leg comes up. Inhale, twist. Exhale, return to center. And roll back down. Just keep a continuous flow in your breath. Maybe you remember it's the inhale that brings the head up. Exhale at the top. Inhale, big twist. Exhale, come back to center. Lower the leg down. Moving smooth and deeply. Pairing our movement with the breath deepens the connection to this exercise. Makes you feel it a little bit more. And adds a challenge to any level. One more each side. Inhale up. The legs and head float up. Exhale at the top. Inhale, rotate. That inhale helps you twist your trunk. You exhale as you come back to center, and you can inhale as you come back down. And return. The breath doesn't have to be perfect. Great, we added a rotation. From here, extend the legs long, feet flexed. Arms extend back overhead. You may do this with bent knees or one leg bent and the other extended. I'm going to go for both legs extended, heating it up, rolling up now through the spine. We roll down, we're going to roll back up. Arms extend forward, chin comes towards your chest. You feel like the ribs could slide behind you and then up overhead to help you roll your spine up. You're going to stretch forward, reach beyond the toes while curling your spine in towards your knees. From here, sit tall through your spine. Look out to the horizon and then begin from the base of your pelvis to roll you back into the mat. Aim to get the low ribs on the back, shoulder blades, neck and head. Arms extend back. Arms then raise, chin goes in, curl through the shoulders, the ribs, peel your spine up, find a C curve, stretch forward. Feel that stretch through the back line of the legs, feel the scoop through the abdominals, sit tall, and then roll back down through the spine. One by one, arms back overhead. That's two. Let's go for just 3 of these here. Up, chin, ribs, low back, pelvis, stretch, stretch, stretch. Sit tall. From here, we're rolling down. Slide the arms by your side. Just let them lay by your side. Go right leg up into the air. And we're going to cross that leg over. Drop it down, around, and up. We're leg circling. Over, down, around, and up. Nothing fancy today, no twist. Just trying to keep that pelvis relatively anchored as we focus on stirring the right leg within. Hip socket feels so good. And one more. Let's pretend that was 6. Other direction. Around and up. Over, around and up. Out, around and up. Out, around and up. And one more because it just feels so nice. Now let's hold that leg up into the sky. Roll chin to chest. Grab onto the back of your thigh. See if you can just start to walk your way up that leg. Bow the elbows tall. Here's a little tree variation. I've got a bit of a scoop in the pelvis. I'm trying to shine my sternum up to the sun. I'm going to walk my way back down, leaving my leg at a diagonal. Take the arms back overhead. Take them forward, legs at a diagonal. And I'm walking it up. Walking up my tree. Bowing at the top, the elbows out, the head, crown lift. The tail is still a bit scooped. The abdominals are supporting me. Let go of that leg at any time. I'm walking back down. Doo-doo-doo. Taking the arms back. Taking the arms up. Rolling it up. Magic numbers 3. Bow. Release. Why not? Connect. And walk it back down. I just want you to keep yourself in a chest curl. Float the other leg up. And then switch. And switch. Aim a little higher. We're going to go into a scissor and switch. And switch. I have sand all over me. And switch. Oh well. And switch. And switch. I'm a little tight. I'm going to go to a flex foot now and switch. And switch in the back line of the legs. I need this. And of course, we're going to switch and lay that right leg down. Walk back down your tree. Finish that one out. Left leg is now high in the sky. Lay those arms heavy by your side. Go now across, back to circles on the left. Around and up. 1, 2, and 3, 4, counting all of this. And 6. Other way. Oh, yes. Feels so nice. Around and up. Getting some freedom in those hips. Massaging the inside glue. Round and up. And I'm going to do one more. I think that was 6. And we'll just pretend it was 6. Oof. A little tired on that one. Okay. Tree. Walk it up. Reach for the ankle if you can. Elbows, chest. Leaving the leg at a diagonal. Roll back down. Arms back. Arms up. Roll up. Walk it up. Push the left leg into your hands. And just feel that traction that it creates. Feel the low belly scooping in. And now walk it down. Keep some traction in that leg so it's strong. It's not going anywhere. It is able to hold that diagonal. Last one. Work for it, really curling through your spine. Up. Ta-da! And walk it down. Just to your shoulder blades. Lift the right side leg. Bring it up. Take both hands behind your legs, then to the back of your head. Stretch the legs away from you. You could do this with your head down. Pull the legs back up, or you're going to keep your scoop. Stretch the legs away from you. Pull those legs back up. Up. Flex your feet. Stretch, stretch, stretch. Up. Try to get your legs across the horizon. Up. Feel that bow, that scoop. What does bow mean? I don't know. Bow and arrow, tension. Last one. Neck is relaxed, of course. Of course. Bend. Rest. Recover. I want you to start to build your way up. Rock. 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 Hold at the top. Find balance. So 3, 2, 1, and again. And up. Hold at the top. Find balance. 2. Hold at the top. Find balance. Last one. And find it. Find it. Keep it. Stretch the legs out to a V. This could be a narrow V. This could be wide. I'm going to go a little bit wider today than traditional saw. Open out the arms. Rotate to one direction. Reach and articulate through your spine. What? Roll up, come to the other side. So you're going to reach your opposite hand to the opposite foot on the outside of the opposite foot. The other arm is reaching back behind you. The spine is articulating to roll yourself up and down. So we're going to go for a switch. The hands, the arms reach. You curl your body down towards your leg in articulation. And then you curl and roll it back up. Rotate and come up. Rotate, curl, and come up. Moving very slow today. Rotate, articulate, stretch out, come up and through center. I take the hands now to the center of the legs and we articulate down through the head, through the ribs, through the pelvis. Stretch the head in towards the floor and then roll back up. So here we are again. Imagine if you were laying on the mat doing a seated chest curl. Well, we do this movement from vertical, and we go out. Head comes in, chest curls, ribs curl, and you draw that head down towards the floor. You then start to stack your way back up through the pelvis, through the ribs, through the chest. We're just using the hands as a guide, focusing more on the articulation through the spine, getting curl through the spine. Again, like we're doing a seated chest, laying down a supine chest curl, but we're in that upright position. Have I made myself clear? I'm not sure. Curling, rolling up. One more just like that. Curling and just bending the spine, bending the spine, bending the spine. I'm going to take a breath here. And curling back up from your sit bones, through your low back, through your mid back, to your crown. Hands can interlace behind your head. Now we are just going for rotation. I want you to rotate to one direction, come through center, rotate to the opposite direction, come through center. Let's heat it up a little bit. So an inhale as you twist, double exhale. Inhale as you come through center, double exhale. This twist comes from the center, up and out. And now, side over. We side bend and come back up. And we side bend and come back up. I'm feeling the weight into my opposite hip as my ribs rainbow over to the opposite side. And then I slide and stack my vertebrae back up. Anchor, spiral out, rainbow out. And exhale, come back up. Last one. All the way back up. From here, we're going to go on to our stomachs. Hopefully my mic will be okay. Hands go just underneath the shoulders. And we go for a swan. Head comes up, shoulders roll back. And we lift the chest. And unwind. This is like a reverse chest curl. Now it's a back bend, an extension. But similarly, at that same spot, you'll find the strength and work or the action as if there is a hinge at about your shoulder blade line in the spine to help you prop your chest up into that extension and come back down. Try without hands. Come up and back down. Inhale, lift to inflate the chest and come back down. Bring the arms to a T. Lift. Reach the arms behind you. Reach the arms forward. Inhale, inflate, lift the arms behind you. Reach the arms behind you. And reach them forward. Last one. And return. Lift yourself up. Recover. Shell stretch, child's pose, whatever you call it. And coming to a tabletop position. Around and extend. Round and extend. You want to feel centered. Knees are rooting into the floor. Hands are rooting into the floor just underneath shoulders. Knees are underneath hips. You're pushing down into the shins and tops of your feet. From here, slide the left leg back. Bring it up in line with your spine. Slide the right arm forward. Opposite limbs reach across the room. Take a breath. And return the limbs back to center. Then the other ones lift. Sliding the right leg out. Reaching the left arm forward. Taking a moment to breathe here and stretch. And return. And then we can pick up the pace. We glide out and stretch. And return. Glide out and stretch. Exhale. And return. Just let an exhale out at the top. Find your shape. Don't only feel the leg and the arm reaching out, but also the spine lengthening, the abdominals supporting you as you hold balance. And return. Last one each side. Nice and easy, reaching out and returning. Reaching out and returning. Find a shell stretch. Roll the spine up. Dust yourself off. We are going to wrap up on that note. Thanks for joining me.